Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to my series, Finesse and Flair. And since this is the first episode of our series, amongst us today we have a very, very special guest. She's a lady who's one of a kind. She epitomizes grace, mannerism, and work ethic. A role model, a mentor, a guide, not just to me, but to so many other people I know. It's an absolute honor and privilege to have this personal rendezvous with none other than Susan Rodrigues Viswanathan. Welcome, Susan, and thank you so much for coming and being a part of my series.
Good evening, Bia. Thank you so much for inviting me, and it's a pleasure to be part of your series.
Thank you, Susan. I can't tell you how grateful I am because it really means a lot to me for you to, and there could be nobody better I could have thought of who would be my first guest on this series because I've always admired you so much for so many values that one has seen in you. So there was nobody better than you I could have really thought of to start this series.
Bia, that's really you should think so highly of me. And for me, it's been a great pleasure because I've seen you from the first day that you joined. We were in British Airways together, I mean, overlapping by 20 years or so. And from the first day you joined to now, to see your evolution as well has been wonderful. And I'm really privileged to be part of your life as well.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you so much. So, Susan, like I said, I know so many people who are inspired by you. In fact, today, when I put it up in social media that you're going to be my first guest, there were so many people who said that, they consider you to be their mentor and they really look up to you as a role model. So, since there are so many people that you have inspired, who is it that inspired you, Susan? Who is it that inspired you when you were growing up? And where did you, who do you admire? Like we admire you. Who is that one person we would love to know who inspired you?
Oh, actually, it's two people, Bia. First of all, I don't even know whether I deserve all the lovely things that you're saying about me, but I'm really happy to hear them. And as to my inspiration, it has got ways because my dad was in the army, and in him I've seen this complete devotion to duty and a deep patriotism where we knew that he really adored us as his family, but that the country came first in everything, so it was duty above all. So that's one thing I learned from him, that real sincerity towards your work and that honesty towards your country and everything that it embodies. And from my mom as a services wife, I feel that she'd sacrificed a lot of her own personal ambitions because she's a very talented and wonderful lady. And she used all that towards being a wonderful wife to daddy. No complaints, even when he spent 7 years away from her in the first 14 years of their marriage, bringing up three children with so much love and coping with everything and also reaching out to help others. She was always there when somebody was in trouble or needed a helping hand. So I would say those are my inspiration, for kindness and duty and generosity. I
Wow,
don't know
how
if I can ever
wonderful is
live up to
that?
them.
How wonderful is that, Susan? And also, I do remember you mentioning to me when we started flying years ago that your mother was also the first Indian international cabin crew for British Airways.
She was in the first ever batch that was recruited, and that was Bombay. They had another batch out of Calcutta too. There was no Delhi base those days. And she was the first girl from Bombay to take a flight out for British Airways. And the Calcutta flight took off half an hour later with an Indian girl on board. So she was the first girl to fly for BA, and she gave all that up for love of daddy and settled down as a captain's wife in a basha, a leaky basha tent by a runway somewhere. So love does strange things, from the glamour of flying to the realities of army life.
But then how wonderful, Susan, because you followed suit and then you joined British Airways and you, continued the legacy. Am I audible to you, Susan?
Beyonce, your
Can you hear
voice
me?
vanished the last minute or two.
Okay,
I
no
just
worries.
heard
Can
as
you
far
hear
as
me now? Can you hear me now?
yes, I can.
Okay, no, I was just saying then, and you followed suit because you continued the legacy. You took it over from your mom, and then you continued flying with British Airways, which was wonderful, which was so amazing.
The voice is frozen again, Bia. I think I got your question. It was amazing because I hadn't ever intended it. I just knew that I really enjoyed, meeting people, working with people, helping people out whenever I could. And you yourself, being an army daughter, you know how we always were expected to entertain guests and make
Yes,
sure everybody who came home was comfortable. So that was a really
yes.
good training ground. And if I tell you a secret, as a patriotic girl, I'd applied to Air India first, but their recruitments didn't happen for a long time. They did call me eventually, but I was already flying for BA by then.
I'm
So
sure you made the right choice, Susan. Totally the
yes,
right
I
choice.
felt I was an ambassador because our uniform those days was a sari, so you felt
Sorry,
very
I remember that.
patriotic, and you made the
Yes.
announcements in Hindi, and you were, I think all of us were a great comfort to a lot of people traveling from the villages, traveling for the first time, and even people in the premium cabins who saw us as a touch of home. So no regrets there.
Yes, I still honestly still do miss the sari a lot. I think it looked so glamorous and so beautiful on all of us. We carried it all so well.
Yes.
It was really misses that attire in the uniform today. So, what is Susan? What is your quintessential style? When you talk about style, I've seen you dress so well in the last 20 years that I've known you. So, what is your quintessential style? What does style mean to you?
I would say that I aspire to elegance. Um, but elegance combined with comfort, where you have an exquisite pair of shoes, but if it pinches you or it's too high to walk in, then I wouldn't want it. So elegance with comfort, and what you're wearing must harmonize, not clash. That
Absolutely.
I would see as my style, or
Wow.
the style I aspire to at any rate.
Wonderful. And what is that one wardrobe? What is that one attire that you have in your wardrobe, which is your favorite? You know, all of us have this one thing in our wardrobe which we can't do without, or we can't think of our wardrobe without that attire. So, what is it that you feel is in your wardrobe?
I have an Indian favorite and a Western favorite, I must confess, because I like
Okay.
wearing all kinds of clothes. So my Indian favorite is a Kerala sari. You know, the cream and gold cotton ones
Oh,
that you
I love
have,
them. They're
and
beautiful. Yes.
the Western favorite is a black pencil skirt because I feel that those things are perennial. They never go out of fashion. You can dress them up, dress them down, accessorize them how you wish, and they always look so beautiful. So those are
Absolutely.
my favorites.
Absolutely. And Susan, you sent me a picture with this beautiful sari, which was like an heirloom, where you said it was about 17 years old. That was such a beautiful piece, beautiful sari. So, what is your take on heirloom? Because now with this whole fashion revolution that is happening in the world today, I feel personally it's so important to, really look after these heirlooms because we value them so much more now because now shopping is not what it used to be like. So, what is your take on heirlooms? How important are they to you?
My old things are my treasures. I love my mother's old jewelry. I love her old saris, and my masis, my chachis. Everybody knows that if they want to make me happy for a function, they need to give me something that they have worn and loved. And if it's,
Right.
one of those things that's handmade by a karigar or a craftsperson, I treasure it all the more. So I have this beautiful collection of saris which are heirlooms and which I love to wear, like the picture that I sent you. That's 16 50 years old, and it was given as a gift to my bua when she was going as a 17-year-old bride to Africa. Her father chose her trousseau himself because he was sending her so far away. And now she
Wow.
said she lives in Australia. She said she wouldn't wear them, but she wanted her saris to go to somebody who would love them.
So
So that's
badly
how
well.
that came to me, and I
That's
adore it.
wow. How nice is that? Beautiful.
I
So, so so
I think
Susan,
it also.
yes. Sorry.
Sorry, no, I just meant to say that I feel also now when we are so concerned with the environment and with not wasting and reusing and recycling, these things are so beautiful, but you just have to see the beauty, look for the beauty, and appreciate the work and the love that's gone into making them, and maybe the love with which you were given them. So you actually
Absolutely.
wouldn't go out and buy more and just throw these away or hide them in a wardrobe. You'd actually wear and use them. So, in a sense, you're recycling and reusing and preserving things.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. And saving the environment as well. Considering yesterday was World Environment Day, so we are doing our
Yeah,
bits for the environment as well.
absolutely. And enjoying ourselves too,
And
because it's
enjoying
no
ourselves too.
trouble. It's such joy.
Yeah, very true. Susan, so both of us come from an army background, like you said, and we both understand the value of, like you said, entertaining people, making people feel comfortable. So, what is your idea of an ideal home? How would you, suggest that an ideal home should look like or feel like, rather?
Okay. Having during my grown-up years, having lived in a variety of houses depending on where my dad was posted, whether a small town, big town, small bungalow, big home, a little flat somewhere, I
Right.
feel that the ideal home, the intangible element to it is that it should be warm and welcoming and feel safe. Um, a fact that I am very particular about is that there should always be good food available for anybody who comes to visit, whether it's something nice in the fridge, something nice cooking in the kitchen, so that
Yeah,
people feel once they come in that it's like a lovely safe haven. It must be very clean, but not necessarily tidy. Um, Personally, I don't like those show homes where everything is pristine and
picture
so beautiful
perfect.
that
Right.
you're frightened to touch things. The children have instructions not to climb on furniture and all that. And, to each his own. But personally, I feel a home should be loved and lived in. And it should also have a few treasures, old paintings, family photographs, the kids' artwork, little
Perfect.
mementos you picked up from travel. So it should be a very personal and happy thing.
So an amalgamation of your experiences, your journey of life. I think that's what really, for me, also is an ideal home more than anything else. So, Susan, I wanted to ask you, since we've known each other for a long, long time now, almost more than 20 years, I'm going to be finishing 21 years in the next 10 days. So, we've known each other for 21 years now. So, any memory that you have of us, Susan, in the last, which stands out in the last 21 years?
Um, If you ask me for a specific memory, I can't think of an incident associated in particular with you and me, but lots and lots of happy little visual images. For instance, I remember, of course, seeing your evolution from this uh, sweet young girl, so hopeful, so fresh faced, coming in looking for her job, through the interviews and things, and
Yes,
how you've evolved into this confident professional who's not just very comfortable with her own work, but is also doing other things to fulfill herself. Um, I remember when you first came, you had this lovely, long, bouncy hair, and you didn't like it. So you had it straightened and you paid an arm and leg then, but it looked so glamorous and lovely. And I remember when you went through a phase where you used to have big hair for your flights, where you had your hair done up in this like a film star style, with the
yeah,
lovely
the little
updo
bouffant
cushion
thing that I
on,
used to put on. Yes,
so glamorous. And I also remember your eyeliner phase where it was like this Egyptian eye makeup lovely colors, the purples and the greens and the blues. You used to love your blue especially, and
Yes,
the lovely
yes, I
long
do.
eyeliner all the way up to here. Stunning. You know, it was like that film star sort of a glamorous look, which was so pretty. And you came to office once in this beautiful polka dot outfit, and you looked so smart because you had very high heels. And then we all met for a base meeting. And as things happened, some of your batchmates were there. And I know that, whenever you all were together, there was you, there was Tamanna, there was Mansi and Minakshi among the girls. You all looked
Yes,
like such a glamorous group. Like some those ones that you see on the serials and TV. And
right.
boys, the two boys who were the first boys recruited, and my goodness, Bia, how much they teased you. The
I know,
boys,
Susan. They were so
because you
nasty to
baby.
me always.
They all adored you, but you were the baby of the group, I think, when you went for
Yes,
training.
yes,
And
yes.
they used to keep troubling you and try to trip you up. And I was thinking, such a dignified girl now. And they act like little children when they're around her, giving her a shove or
I
troubling her. But
know,
you
I know.
had such a spirit. That was
Those were the days,
remarkable.
Susan, but I really miss those days because those young, fresh days, when you've just joined a company and you're with these six young people together who are out to chase their dreams. That time was like one of the best times, I think, of our lives. And we really cherished those moments together. It was really, really wonderful. Really, really nice.
But the lovely thing about you, Bia, is that you never took offense. You were always such a good sport and so ready to go along with whatever the joke was, even if they were bothering you. And I remember even when you were in office, when you were expecting your first baby, how helpful you were to everyone around. It was really a lovely thing to see you in action.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you so much. And I think the reason, Susan, I was really nice is because I got used to it because they used to take my case all the time. So I think I just got used to it and just kind of, decided that let me just keep quiet about it. Let them just keep talking. So
Yeah, but you never made them feel bad, you were really good sport.
thank you. Thank you, Susan. So, Susan, before we, put an end to this, just one last question, please. What is a quote that you live by in your life? What is that you feel is the most important thing to you in life, or a quote that you swear by?
I love reading and literature, and I have a lot of quotes that really appeal to me. But the thing I live by is a phrase, and it's actually a song as well. Try a little kindness. I just feel that, whatever situation you're in, whether it's a normal everyday one, or a difficult one, or a hard one, or a sad one, if you try a little kindness, at least you have reached out to somebody in a way that doesn't harm, that helps them a little bit, and at least it makes you feel good too. I think that a little kindness is what we all need. In fact, more so now than ever before, when the whole world
Yes,
is
I
worried,
agree.
stressed, suffering, anxious, so many things. And if we're all just kind to each other, um, can't go wrong with that. So I would say my motto for life is try a little kindness.
Wow, how beautiful is that? And I've seen that, Susan. I've actually seen you being so kind to so many people. I mean, if I start counting, we'll probably be sitting here till, tomorrow morning for the amount of kindness you've shown, not just to me, but to so many people I know. You've been an absolute, rock for so many of us in times of need, in times happy moments. I still remember you for there for my wedding, for whenever we were in trouble, you were always there for us. You've always been a rock to so many of us, and really, really appreciate and really love that about you. And like I said, I've seen that kindness with my very own eyes, so I can totally understand that. Yes, this is a quote that you would live by.
Thank you so much, Bia. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Susan. I really humbly thank you for taking out time and for coming for this series of mine. It's really, really made me feel so special. And I really do, before we leave, I'd just like to say I really miss having you around when I fly because, like I said, they don't make them like you anymore. and we really miss you around when we're flying. The positive energy, that smile, that never ending smile was, we really miss all of that about you. So, and the positive energy that you would just have around you, that aura that you have around you, really really miss all that about you.
Bia, thank you. Really, thank you so much for saying such wonderful things. But all I can say is that I hope that God blesses you and keeps you safe and well in all your work and in all your other activities as well. I mean, you know that you mean a lot to me as well. All my, I don't know, I know I oughtn't to say it, but all my BA babies, really, because I feel like I've seen you grow up in front of me. I've seen you work. I've seen you get married, have babies of your own as well. So I feel a deep personal interest and I feel very protective towards you as well. But I know I oughtn't to, but anyway, you know that you have my very best wishes for everything you do. God bless.
Absolutely, Susan. And we love that about you. Thank you so much. Thank you ever so much for taking out time. And thank you ever so much for coming on my show. Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you,
God
Susan.
bless.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thanks.
Very well.